Okay, super easy. Just finished the trim turkey bowl, the taco, I should say, trim turkey taco bowl. The total time on that probably took about 25-30 minutes maybe just to cook everything up, and then it was so easy to assemble the bowl together. When I did that, I preheated the oven. The oven's now ready to go. So I actually am just going to line a little ramekin. This right here is probably an 8.5 ounce ramekin standard size cup. There we go. Perfect. I was like, what is going on with that? Going in. I am Butterfingers today, and I'm okay with it. I accept it. That being said, make sure you wash your hands before, if you do. So we're gonna add this in. What I'm gonna have first to start is our unbleached flour. So we'll go with 40 grams of unbleached flour. And I'm gonna use the spoon just to help measure out my dry ingredients first. Oh, come on, give it to me. 40 grams. There we go, cool. All right, I like to use sprouted spelt flour. It's up to you if you want to use something that's gluten-free, but I just would say try to find something that's organic, maybe even rich, hearty, nutrient full of, I would say, fiber. Ideally, that's what you really want. So you can tell that this is a nice grainy flour. Now what I'm going to do is add in the protein powder. So I'm looking for about 20 grams of protein powder. It's just shy of, or actually a little over half a scoop, I should say. Ideally, plant-based is actually going to be the best. You can also use casein, but casein and whey, but I would just say ideally plant-based is going to give you a little bit more of that baking consistency. Now from here, I'm going to add in the monk fruit sweetener. I actually have a big jar of it. So let me bring the jar over. I'm a huge fan of monk fruit. This right here, I really don't measure as much as looking for a tablespoon. So I'm just going to go for a big tablespoon if I can. Cool. Now the sweetener's in there. We'll go ahead and add in our, I believe we have baking powder. And then this is just going to be a teaspoon. So I'm looking for our little guys over here. These are called Tad Dash. Let's go for the real measurements here. All right. For our teaspoon, baking powder. Cool. Now we're going to add in non-fat Greek yogurt, and then we'll add in the vanilla extract, and then we'll add in our milk from there. So let me just top in this lid. Actually, you want to add a pinch of sea salt. If you can eliminate sea salt. This will bring out the sweetness, surprisingly. Perfect. Okay, vanilla extract's gonna come in next. I don't really measure this, but you're looking probably for a teaspoon of it as well. And then we'll grab in the Greek yogurt. I'm looking for 45 grams. So let's just grab this, see how that looks. To start, 28, 32, almost there. 45, perfect. Okay, cool. So now that I've gotten that in there, I'm going to use a fork and mash this, mix it all up together. Then I'll add in the sprinkles into the batter, and then I'll actually put this into the middle of it. It's a nut butter with hazelnut. I like hazelnut. I'm a huge fan, and I think that batter cake, like cake batter, the flavor of birthday cake is great, but it's kind of simple. So something like this is just kind of boosting that flavor even more and adding a little bit more, like I said, lava to the flow. So let's go ahead and bring this in. I'm gonna whisk this up, and then I will add in that milk. So this is, there we go, looking good. Add in our 80 milliliters while we stirring. You know what, Butterfingers, we're just gonna keep going with it. Let's add in our first 40 and stir it and see how that goes. 43. So, and you don't have to be aggressive like you saw at the bowl. I would even say it might be easier. How I read the instructions was to do this all in the souffle. It might honestly be easier to do this in another bowl and then put it into a brand new ramekin. So I actually think I'm going to put a brand new ramekin out and transfer that into that dish. It just helps with messes. I'm really weird when it comes to messes. Oh, this smells amazing. It smells just like cake batter. Perfect. I even like the consistency of it now, but I get that it's going to bake. So let's go ahead and add in the other 37 grams. Whatever, 40. Why not? Let the air pockets start to come in. You can see the bubbles. That just means that it's picking up the milk. Yeah, this would have been much easier in a bigger bowl. And I actually think I'm gonna do that. Perfect, okay. So now let's whisk this all together. Oh my goodness, this is what you wanna do. The instructions that I was reading for a recipe that inspired me to do this, again, told me to do this in the souffle. They made it look so easy, but isn't that what all the highlights always do? Again, you should probably measure these. I don't really, I'm just gonna say a tablespoon. And then I'll add even more on top, probably another tablespoon just for the topping. Get our souffle, line back up. I got some brand new shoes on that are squeaky. Woo! Nice, all right. This definitely smells like cake batter, I'll tell you that. Okay, grabbing another spoon. We're gonna measure this out, and I'm looking for about a tablespoon. So just 16 grams. Here, let's just stir this up so we can get a nice consistency. I think that's a pretty good amount. Let's see how that looks. 26. Take off a little bit more than my eyes were hoping for. 15, perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip this into the center. So if you can see, and get as much of it as I can. And then I'm gonna grab the other side of the spoon and just kind of like coat it. So that way it looks like it's covered. And it's a nice little surprise, so no one would even know until they break it open. Look at that, how beautiful. Okay, we're going to top it with the last bit of sprinkles again. This time I'm going to use the lid on top here. And just like another tablespoon worth. That looks amazing. This is ready to go in the oven now. I'm gonna bake it for about 22 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes is what you're looking for in that consistency, but I have a feeling that I like them just slightly underbaked, so maybe 20, 22 minutes, and check that out from there. We'll show you what it looks like, crack it open, and enjoy.